Welcome to Whiskey Fans. My name is Tony, and we made it to Friday. Happy Friday. This is the third and final round, the championship round of Rye Madness, and thanks for joining. All right, advancing to this final round out of the 8 bottles that we had randomly selected out of my inventory is on my left, which was seed number 2, the Senator. The Senator is a single barrel pick made by Sobro. Sobro is a local liquor store on the north side of Indianapolis out of Broad Ripple. This is a 6-year proof and wood. They do source, and this was sourced from MGP. It's a 95.5 rye, and this is coming in at a 116.74 proof. And then here on my right, we have Old Carter batch number 10, released back in July of 2022. This is also sourced. Neither of them distill to my knowledge, so they're non-distiller producers. They also procured this, to my knowledge on my research, from Indiana, and this is also a 95.5. I don't have any age statement. I do know that this is a 6-year single barrel. This is a blend of 13 barrels, so it's a very small batch. I don't know if they did any double oaking on this particular batch, but that's what we have, and it's, based upon my previous rounds, I just did a nose and a taste, and whichever of the two I preferred most advanced to the next round. And so, being that they're both the same mash bill, they're coming from the same distillery, and approximately the same proof, it doesn't surprise me, based upon my palate and profile, that these two advanced to where they are today. If you saw last week's video, I kind of went into this without acclimating my palate. So went in and tasted the first one. It was my first drink of the day. So I'm not making that mistake today. I went back to an earlier round favorite of mine, and this was Old Ezra 7. And this was a favorite, I believe, of Fred Minnick's too, because it made it into his top 100, actually into the top 25 of his tastings that he had done. And so I poured me a glass, and I'll just take a quick sip. Still is good. And this is coming in at a proof of 114, so a little bit less than the two that I'll be tasting. So that will put me in a good position for a fair round. Also brought me up a palate cleanser. This is, went fancy today, went with the bubbly, went with the Perrier, not the flat water. Don't know if there's a difference when you're doing palate cleansing, but this is what I'm doing. So what I've done here is I've poured both. I've marked both Glens with their seeds 2 and 8. I'm going to mix these around, try to make it as blindly as possible, but again, very similar as I had described to you on the mash bills. So quick little switch around, try to look around. All right, so we've got them switched. We're going to go in for the nose and the taste on both. As I mentioned, I just rated these based upon nose and the taste. Did not go from a value perspective, availability perspective, or any other parameters. I do know for myself, it's more difficult to get the Old Carter because it's not distributed in my state of Indiana. I do get this when I visit Kentucky, and even when I'm in Kentucky, I don't see it very often. I know that their place of business, which is down in the main Whiskey Row area, it's not open to the public. They do have a social club. You do have the ability to get releases for their social club only, but they tend to do their batches based upon the states they're in distribution of, and that's how they kind of separate. But I was lucky enough to get this batch number 10, and was able to find it on the shelf, and have been enjoying it since. And over here, I like to support local liquor stores, and the best way to support them is on their store picks, and getting to know the person who's in charge of that, who's on the teams. It gets you to trust what you're to expect on your palate and how it jives with you. A lot of times, if you're not familiar with the store, they may just take barrels blindly. They might not send a team. They might not go for bottles to taste and find out which one they would like the best for their clientele. So let's see how my palate does for me this week. Week to week, day to day, maybe what you ate, how you're feeling, your mood might be a little different, but I'm just going to taste these. I've mixed them around. I'm going to start out here on my right. Very nice nose. good sweetness. I like the rice spice to it, good balance. Do a quick palate cleanse here. Very similar. This one here, the nose was a little bit more pronounced. It had a little bit more of a pop as it comes to the sweetness, and then a little savoriness that kind of balanced that out mid palate, and then that rye spice and the hug all the way down. I wasn't getting that as much with this particular one, even though there's some similarities there. A little bit more barrel, I would say a little bit more oakiness to this one on my right. I do like an oak finish, but from the standpoint of what I preferred, I'm going to give it here to the left. And to my left, we will take a look. This is seed number 8. And so seed number 8, Old Carter. So congratulations, you are Whiskey Fans 2023 Rye Madness champions, and I crown you the gold medal. So thank you for putting out great whiskeys. Cannot diminish this. Like I said, great value, similar mash bill, or same mash bill, nearly the same proof. So whatever's closest to you, what's in your budget, what's in your wheelhouse, it's a toss-up. But for me, this one carried through. This one went through some big boys to make it to where it is today, and I'm pleased. I couldn't be happier. This was a lot of fun for me. If it was a lot of fun for you, like and subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see next. This is one of many more, I hope, getting feedback from you. And have a great rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and cheers.